Question number 6, Stuart Nash.
To the Minister of Finance, in what way is New Zealand, quote, better placed to withstand a financial crisis, unquote, than 3 years ago, given that before he came to office, the government was running a surplus and core Crown net debt was just 1% of GDP, and now the government is running record deficits and net debt is 20% of GDP?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the member has a somewhat rosy view of the situation when the government came to office. In fact, the forecasts published just before the election showed 10 years of deficits and ever-increasing public debt based on the policies of the previous government. At the time, we had mortgage interest rates of over 10%, exports were actually shrinking, inflation was at 5.1%, the New Zealand economy had gone into recession well before the global financial crisis, and people were losing jobs.
Stuart Nash.
Supplementary to the Minister. With that in mind, is the Crown's credit rating now on negative outlook, and was this the case when he took office?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I think it is on negative outlook, and that is remarkably better than this downgrade we would have faced if we had not changed the damaging and wasteful policies of the previous Labor government.
Stuart Nash.
Supplementary. Is it correct?
Order, Stuart Nash.
Is it correct that GDP per capita has fallen by 2% since his government came to office?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I can't give the member the exact figure, but I can tell him this, that if the member looks in the last budget, he will see a page of tables that show that around 2004-2005 this economy went badly off the rails, well before the global financial crisis, where debt blew out, government spending blew out, and our export sector actually started shrinking. We have had to deal with the legacy of the previous government's policies as well as the global recession, and actually in the circumstances we've done reasonably well.
Dr Cam Calder.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary question to the Minister. Which of those problems he noted the government inherited 3 years ago, which left New Zealand poorly positioned to withstand a financial crisis, has the government addressed and fixed?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, we've addressed all of them. We've fixed quite a few of them, but some of them were the result of 10 years of damaging economic policy, and they'll take 10 years to fix.
Stuart Nash.
To the Minister, has he seen the government financial statements showing that net debt has risen by $36 billion since he came to office?
The Honourable Bill English.
Yes, Mr Speaker, I have. And if the government hadn't imposed some tight spending constraint, that would be much worse. And I'll note that the opposition, the Labor Party, have opposed every single decision this government's made to restrain spending. I'm not surprised.
Stuart Nash.
Since the facts clearly show that the country's economic position has deteriorated since his government took office, when will he present a real plan for the economy, like Labor's, or is his only plan to sell state assets in a falling market?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I can make this absolute commitment. We will never produce an economic plan like Labor's.
Question number 7, Pesita Samlo Toyinga.